All right, so I love the quote about devour, pray in the morning, and then in the evening divide the springs. The image of devouring prey, it gives that energy, that movement, that oomph, and you're saying the energy of youth must be harnessed and used well, because otherwise it will actually also destroy if not used well, right? Now, dividing the springs, you know how, that's like water. It says you still can divide the waters, right? That is an energy that needs to be really mined well. I will link that to what you said now about foundations, about building strong foundation. That what our government can do, the gift the government can do to this country, for this nation, is to build strong foundations using the youth, particularly of the youth. That when you have a strong foundation and they have the energy that can devour praise, that can divide springs, you have a good recipe for goodness and for development and for a happy nation and for decent lifestyles, for dignified lives. He quoted Muhammad that whoever sees evil must do what? Change it. Must use his hands to change it. Or his tongue. Your hands, you can do. When you build, when you're given a tender and you construct, don't use cheap material when you've quoted government millions and millions. Don't use subpar labor that will, construct a building that will fall tomorrow. Do not use, some people don't even finish projects. They build buildings, they build houses and offices that crumble, and they charge our government using our taxpayers, our taxes, millions. They are costing us, they are stealing from us. So the foundation must be solid, and it doesn't take a lot. It takes shifting the thinking when it comes to education, shifting the thinking when you create opportunities for youth to participate, shifting the thinking on what economic empowerment is about. It's not about a few people making money and putting millions in their pockets, but it is about making sure that you create an environment where everyone can participate and everyone can be can constructively participate in society by creating employment. Not getting tenders just to keep millions in the pockets, not getting tenders just so they can go on holiday and buy that Range Rover, not getting tenders just so their family, only their family can live a good life, but that they can take those tenders and build businesses that can hire people, that can hire youth. Because remember, the youth have that energy. They have that energy to devour, and they have the energy to divide. We need to harness that energy. And as the government of Botswana, as the nation of this country, we need to stand up. Let us stand up and figure out how we build a movement of good young people. They have started their own global network, and I know it's going to grow. I know you two are going to do amazing, wonderful things because it is the two of you. You went to the Young Leaders Integrity School, learned something, and thought, we can multiply this. We used to tell them during the training that we train one for one to train 10. And I'm sure you're going to train millions. And I look forward to being part of that journey with you. And before I give it over to you to just do your closing remarks, you said that when you question, you're not being rude.
Yes.
How do we make that drilled? How do we have that drilled in our parents, in our elders, in our leaders, that when we ask questions, and that maybe that they forgive us on how we ask the questions, but we don't intend to be rude. How do we send that message? Favor?
Yeah, how do we send the message of accountability, encouraging the youth to ask questions? So to ask questions, first of all, means you have to be concerned about your nation.
Yeah.
So the youth cannot really ask any questions about government, about governance, without being concerned. So the problem nowadays is that we have a self mentality. Everything is about me. Everything is about my family.
Yes.
We should go to work, get educated, get a job, pay some bills, retire, and then die one day.
Yeah.
That's what happens nowadays.
Yes.
Everybody thinks that, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. I was born to only work and then to die one day.
Yeah.
But honestly, I really believe in destiny, that when you are born with a change idea that could benefit the whole world. You see, when you look at a child, just know that you are looking at a personality that could impact the world, Africa, or Botswana. So we need to nurture it. So what we need to get rid of here is the self mentality.
Yeah.
That is about my family and it's about me. One last quote from the Bible. When we look at the Old Testament, when the children of Israel were in trouble, challenges, atrocities, God always said to them, pray for your city so that it may be at peace. He never said pray for your family, pray for your friends, pray for yourself. He said pray for your city. When we take that principle and we apply it to now, we get that a whole ventricle of truth is open, that as a people you have to be concerned about your nation. Don't just be concerned about your country. The youth, let us utilize them. And that's the whole substratum of creating YLIGT, Youth Leaders for Integrity and Global Transformation.
Yeah.
We want the youth to come together and to solve real life challenges and to raise banners of integrity, transparency, accountability, and true democracy. Another quote I got from Nelson Mandela was, the youth are capable and aroused of bringing down the towers of oppression and raising the banners of freedom. So we need to bring down the towers of oppression first. Whether it's corruption, whether it's what, we need to bring it down. So we can bring different ways we can bring it down. We have the sustainable development goals. For example, we have no poverty goal.
Yes.
You see, like if one youth says, okay, this is my goal, I'll just try to achieve it, the no poverty goal. And then another youth looks at a different goal.
Yes.
You see, it's different agendas, different goals, but one mission. That mission is for a better Botswana, for a better Africa, for a better world at large. Where local, when you can benefit the whole world. So it comes down to this. It starts at the family level. Our parents have to empower us. They have to empower their children to be concerned about their nation. That's when we'll start having true leadership. And that's what I'll call the new normal.
Well, thank you very much, Ismail. Your closing remarks.
Yes. So I think this discussion was very helpful. Some good points were raised. And basically I just like to say that governance, right?
Yeah.
It's not about having only power over its people, dictating it to its people. It's about engaging with them.
Yeah.
It's about putting smiles on their faces. It's about caring for the people. It's about raising the people to reach greater heights.
Yes.
It's basically sort of handling your life in a way with care that you'll reach what you're aiming to reach. And our government is there to help us fulfill that.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to do. Obviously, there's challenges along the way, corruption, things like that. That's where the youth, that's where we need to sort things out. We need to put things on a clean slate so that we build our foundation strongly. And also, about your thing about respect. The people need to understand that we are just here to try our best for our future.
Yeah.
Not to be selfish, but for the global future to be upheld, to be greater than how the current leadership is, to learn from the mistakes, engage more, and further it into something great. And we're more capable of doing that way. It's I don't know, like I can't fully express how much the youth plays a role, how much we have within us. And it's not about, corruption, I have to go sit on my computer, write something, do something like that. We need to engage, we need to have fun. Why can't we smile while we make a difference?
Yes.
That it's all about that. It should be fun, making a change, changing our world, shaping our future,
Yeah.
and not having any barriers to do that.
All right. Thank you so much, you two honorables that I admire. I wish you all the best with your network, and I know you're going to do amazing, amazing, great things. So, Motswana, thank you. Or not Motswana. Thank you for joining us on the Botswana Center for Public Integrity Conversation Circle, where we are settling governance issues with the people. And today we're looking at governance and the governed through the eyes of the youth, who actually turned this around and focalized it and focused it more on leadership. That the leaders that we have must know that they're basically putting a blanket over us during winter times, and that blanket must be shifted and somehow conditioned when the seasons change, and that the people under that blanket must participate in their governance, and the people in the ship must participate in their governance, and that when you see evil, you must do what you need to do to change it with your hands, change it with your tongue, and change it with your heart. That is where life is, your heart. So we need to work on our hearts when we promote integrity, when we promote accountability. And they are saying that when we ask you questions as our leaders, we're not trying to be rude or disrespectful. We just want to build better and bigger foundations for the development of this country and the development of the world. Because when there's no peace in Zimbabwe, there's no peace in SADC, and there's no peace in Botswana. So thank you for watching the Conversation Circle. We'll see you again next week at 10 a.m. where we circle governance issues with the people. Remember to wear your mask, sanitize, wash those hands, and keep safe.